Hi, my name is Lucy Claire Curran, and I am coming to you live with just a little video blog post with some things that I've been thinking about. You can also see my dog Ellie here with me. She was upset that I had left her on the floor, so she wanted to come up and join me. So a few things I've been thinking about. This is also a good exercise for me because I feel very informal at this moment, and one of the things that I want to bring to my work is to show up consistently even when I don't feel polished or prepared, and just, to keep showing up, keep coming to the table. So here I am. And what I was thinking about earlier today that I wanted to share with everybody here is about taking things step by step. And some of the themes that I know I've shared about here before have been perfectionism, not letting perfect get in the way of the good, and practicing patience with oneself. And so this is related, and the specific sort of pearl that I wanted to offer today is more about the method. So when we are taking on a project at work or even a volunteer project, especially one where the quality of it is really important to us. I know, speaking for myself, that I can be really hard on myself, and I can get impatient also if things aren't going the way that I want to, and then that impacts how effective I'm being at the particular task at hand. So, for example, I'm in New Hampshire right now, and I'm helping out with some family projects at this beautiful farm space that I come to visit with cousins at least once a year usually. And there's always tons of work to do here. So today we were repairing some windows. I don't know if anyone has done like window glazing before, but it's almost like caulk in the bathroom. You're like sealing the window panes so that the weather doesn't get in and the windows are kind of protected over the long term. The wood doesn't decompose as quickly. I know this is all really important and really interesting, but basically I am not super experienced at this task. So I was approaching it, I'd done it before, and I was like, this isn't very complicated, right? Like, I got this, I'm smart, I can figure it out. And then I was not doing a good job. And I was suddenly all up in my head, feeling embarrassed that I wasn't doing a good job, and then knowing that I was up in my head and being sort of irritated at myself for being up in my head and being like, this isn't a big deal, like, why are you overthinking this? No one's judging you but yourself, like kind of trying to talk myself through it, but also in kind of an unhelpful way, like it was just making it worse. And I thought it was so interesting because what I was making it mean was that I wasn't contributing in a good way. I was too slow at it. I was embarrassing myself, and I was making a mess. And so what happened was then my effectiveness decreased even more. So here I was learning a new skill. At the very least, I was relearning something that I hadn't done in a long time. And that takes a certain amount of focus and attention. And what came to me as I was in this ridiculous little tangle in my own brain was that learning something takes extra brain power anyway. And when we want to be really good at something right away, that interferes with our ability to just learn something. So I wasn't letting myself be bad at something and then just focus on improving. I was being bad at something, and then I was creating all of this extra stuff in my mind about how I should have been better, how people might judge me for not being good at it, being irritated that I was so self-conscious, and I was adding on all of these extra layers that my brain was then processing instead of just being present and focused and listening to the instructions from my cousin, who was really helpful and knew how to do it really well and was giving me some helpful guidance. So basically I realized if I took off all those extra layers of just like really pointless mental worrying, kind of, like you think of like worrying gears. If I just kind of took off all those extra layers and listened to what he was describing and was present, and then just gave my full attention to doing the very best that I could and accepting that it wasn't perfect, it just freed up so much energy. And it was also so much less painful. I had created this just sort of painful experience for myself. And sure, I prefer to do a good job in general. And I like to be good at things. And I will be learning new skills my entire life. And so I guess I was just thankful that I noticed what was happening. And then I was able to just kind of let go of that extra stuff. And part of that also was acknowledging that it was uncomfortable to be bad at something. So that's what I offer today is, are you adding on layers to your work process that are about what other people are thinking about you, that are about what this particular task and your performance on this particular task means about you sort of as a person, or you generally, or your capabilities in general in your life? Are you giving it kind of more significance than you need to? And are you just sort of muddying up the water and sort of using extra energy on worry or self-consciousness that you could be using to just focus on learning this new skill? So I leave you with that. Thank you for bearing with my informality here. Hello from beautiful New Hampshire, from the White Mountains, and sending you good thoughts for you in your work today. And until next time, I'm Lucy Claire Curran, and I do career coaching for millennials who are feeling stuck professionally and they want to reconnect with work that feels personally resonant and meaningful to them, and get traction in that work, in making contributions that matter to the world. So until next time, be well and take good care. Okay.